Hello and welcome to our video on the topic of how much wealth did British steal from India when it colonized India and how did it do that. India was once a thriving and prosperous country with a rich culture, a diverse economy, abundant resources. However, when the British arrived in India in the 17th century, they saw an opportunity to exploit the country's resources and established a colonial rule that lasted for almost 2 centuries. In this video, we will discuss how the British looted India's wealth and resources and the impact it had on India's economy. The British used various tactics to exploit India's resources and loot its wealth. One of the primary ways was through taxes and revenue collection. The British introduced a land revenue system that required Indian peasants to pay a fixed percentage of their produce as revenue to the British government. This revenue collection system was exploitative, and the peasants were forced to pay exorbitant taxes even in times of drought or crop failure. As a result, many farmers lost their lands and livelihoods, leading to widespread poverty and destitution. The British also imposed various tariffs and duties on Indian goods, making them more expensive and less competitive in the global market. They also restricted the export of certain goods, such as textiles, to protect their own industries in Britain. This policy led to the decline of India's textile industry, which was one of the largest in the world before the British arrived. Another way the British looted India's wealth was by exploiting its natural resources, such as minerals, coal, timber. The British established mining and forestry operations in India and extracted these resources for their own use. They also used forced labor to mine these resources, which led to the exploitation and abuse of Indian workers. The British also established a trade monopoly in India through the British East India Company. This company had exclusive rights to trade in India and had control over the prices of Indian goods. The company bought Indian goods at low prices and sold them in the international market at much higher rates, making huge profits. Furthermore, the British looted India's wealth through outright theft and plunder. They raided Indian treasuries, temples, and royal palaces, and confiscated their valuables, including gold, silver, and precious gems. They also seized land, property, and other assets belonging to Indian princes and nobles, further impoverishing them. The impact of British looting on India's economy was devastating. India, which was once a prosperous and self-sufficient country, became impoverished and dependent on Britain for its needs. The British destroyed many local industries and prevented the growth of new ones, leading to the decline of the Indian economy. According to research by the economist Utsa Patnaik, Britain looted approximately $45 trillion from India during its 200-year rule. This looting included not just taxes and tariffs but also the exploitation of natural resources, the establishment of trade monopolies, and outright theft and plunder. In conclusion, the British looted India's wealth and resources through various means, including taxes, tariffs, the exploitation of natural resources, the establishment of trade monopolies, and outright theft and plunder. The impact of this looting on India's economy was severe, and the country's decline continued long after the British left. It is essential to understand this history to learn from the past and ensure that such exploitation and looting do not occur again.